Everyone's staring at the chart, waiting and hoping for a green candle. But the real sign, it just went off. Bitcoin's supply structure just flipped. Global liquidity is rising. Tether just stacked another $735 billion of Bitcoin. And GameStop, well, it ended up raising its $1.5 billion to acquire more Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the US market indicators just posted their worst performance relative to the world since 1988. Of course, today is Tariff Liberation Day, so the market is expected to be volatile. All while, however, BlackRock, Mastercard, even my home country of Bolivia are quietly making their moves into the digital asset, digital currency world. So we are at the front row witnessing capital rotation in real time. But you need to see what's going on underneath to understand what's happening. So that's what we're going to cover in today's video. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Jessica, and without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Okay, so what is happening? First off, Bitcoin, amazingly, is holding on strong. Mind you, however, the market has not opened on East Coast yet. Although, if you're watching my video from the US, it probably has by the time you're seeing this video. So you'll have to let me know how the market reacts today. But we know that we're not to act and be surprised no matter what happens today to the market because it's expected. It's a volatile day. That said, we do know that Trump's going to make a statement on these tariffs being Tariff Liberation Day. So no matter what, the market will receive some certainty, some clarity on what's going on. So we'll have to see how that plays out in actuality. But you'll want to stick to the end of the video. And that's not sort of a tactic to get you to watch my video, although I would like to use all the tactics possible, but you will have to see until the end of the video what I cover, because I'll show you how the tides are turning and changing already and how countries are already coming to the negotiation table to discuss getting rid of these tariffs. So things are moving fast. That's why I'm also going to just skim through all of the US data coming in on the market and the manufacturing sector, because a lot of it is, I think, a little past tense viewing in any case, because things are moving and being resolved a lot faster in real time. So this is Bitcoin for now. And if we zoom into what Titan of Crypto has to share here with us, you would see that Bitcoin is still in a bullish pattern. It's in a technically what's called an inverse head and shoulders on the monthly chart. And so while you always have, skeptics saying, oh no, and the tariffs, oh no, and just in general in the crypto world, if you don't follow it too closely, I'm here to update you and let you know that the general crypto market is just a little tired. Everyone's been waiting for the parabolic phase of the bull run to kick in, and it hasn't yet, although we're still poised for it. And actually, we have so much momentum happening underneath the hood, so to speak, that I just know once it takes off, it's going to be like wildfire fire. So anyway, we'll have to see. And I guess if we hang on and we hold on to this resistance level, or this neckline, as it's called, we should be seeing Bitcoin moving up towards 130. We have some people, I think it was Arthur Hayes, saying we should be going up, what is it, up to like 200,000 some. So let's see. Next, as I was talking about in my intro, we have Tether publicly announcing they've purchased $735 million in Bitcoin at the end of this Q1. This is how much they acquired in Q1. So this is extremely significant, because the way it works in the crypto market, and maybe you know this already, is that when people enter into crypto, or people that are in the crypto market already, they always purchase stablecoin first. Tether, USDC, which we know based off of yesterday's video, if you were here, you would know that USDC, the other popular stablecoin, also denominated or holding its value in US Treasury bonds, they are also making their they're going to have their IPO by the end of this month. So anyway, this is extremely significant because this signals that the crypto market is not dead and that, if anything, as I've also covered in past videos, we have a tremendous amount, like unprecedented new levels in the total market cap of stablecoins in the crypto market, which signals the volume and the value that will be entering and is waiting, anticipating to be entered into the crypto market, to be invested in other crypto altcoins. So this is extremely significant. Next, we also have GameStop, as I was talking about in my intro, confirming, it's been confirmed, they ended up filling their $1.5 billion stock offering. So now we'll have to see the news when they actually buy Bitcoin with what they just fundraised, which will be a very interesting comeback for a company like GameStop that, almost bankrupt. So very, very interesting and a signal of strength in the market. And then as I was saying, we have Bolivia, my original, I was born there, although my mom is half Swedish American. So I'm a halvesy in that way, although I have many more nationalities in me, ethnicities I put. But anyway, I didn't know this, right? But in 2014, they had their crypto ban lifted. So that was already significant. But this last March, they have officially started to explore conducting business and transactions for fuel using crypto. So of course, this is incredible and amazing for them because in general, it's a poor country. But this is such a step towards modernization, as Cointelegraph puts it here. I couldn't agree more and be happier to hear this because I actually just dubbed my channel into Spanish using an AI. Yes, I know. It's like 89% good or accurate. Every once in a while, my Spanish accent turns into a Spanish from Spain accent. And sometimes it's a little funny, but I would say over 90%. It's good. It's a good translation. And I will and would love to create my content natively in Spanish. It just doubles my production time. So anyway, it is coming, but for now, my content is dubbed quite well, I would say, in Spanish using AI. So anyway, this is wonderful. This is so wonderful for the Bolivian people and for South America in general, because we know Brazil's into crypto. So this sets precedents. So now the rest of the countries in South America will be looking at Bolivia, the little country, it's considered the heart of South America, actually, because it looks a bit like a heart and it's in the middle. And it's also along with Peru and Machu Picchu in Peru, which I also hiked, fun tidbit on myself. Bolivia and Peru are like sister countries, and they're both like the heart and home base of the Inca Empire, which was like, one of the main Indian, how would I say it, like empires in South America. So anyway, an incredible step for a country like Bolivia. So congratulations to them. And then moving on to take a look at how the global money supply is moving right now and where we're at right now, because we know that Bitcoin follows the global money supply. And because inflation is rising, countries are having, they're having to print more. And because of this, they are looking to Bitcoin and other crypto assets, especially Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a new digital gold, to help preserve the value of their money that's losing its value. So they might as well, right? They might as well print more. So we're going to see more inflation. We are. But as inflation goes up, more of that money is going to pour into Bitcoin. So it's like a sinking ship. Basically, inflation globally is like a sinking ship. And what countries are doing right now is they're grabbing that water and they're pouring it into Bitcoin. So once a ship starts sinking, that's it. It's just a matter of time before it sinks, right? So that's what's happening right now. And in the meantime, people are, by the buckets, pouring their value into Bitcoin. So that's what this chart, long story short, of Quintin, shared by Quintin, shows. We see Bitcoin at the top and in the bottom, the liquidity supply. Yeah, the liquidity supply shape on the chart. So you would see that liquidity is at the bottom and it's about to start going up again. And usually Bitcoin's movement coincides with it. As you can see on the bottom here, it happened in 2020, 2016, and 2012 as well. So it's just a ticking time bomb. You just have to sort of, be like an octopus and have one arm in, or set of eyes like Medusa and have one set of eyes on all these different key indicators like global money supply, inflation, and then now this race to acquire Bitcoin because we know there's only 21 million. So it's definitely becoming a race now, and it's amazing to see as it unfolds. And then here we have Raoul Paul honing in on this global money supply conversation, and he's highly respected in, the finance world, in the investors world, in the crypto world. So when he speaks, people definitely listen. This is why I'm sharing his information with you. And what he has to share here is similar. This is in conjunction with or collab with Julian Bittel. And he basically just points out the fact that there's usually a gap or a lag between the global money supply increasing and Bitcoin. So right now we can see that the global money supply, the black line here, is going up, up, up. And we see Bitcoin in the red line on the chart, about to follow suit. So there you have it. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. That's why right now is the time just to stack Bitcoin and buy only the best top blue chip crypto tokens. And then if you want, depending on how aggressive you want to be as an investor, set some money aside and don't touch it. That'll be your gambling money, but make sure it's money you don't need for anything important in your life. Because once the parabolic phase hits, you may be tempted and may want to, only if you can afford to lose it, you may want to put it into other tokens. Because those tokens, they are going to run up in value very, very fast. Now, the trick will be to jump in at the bottom when they're very, very cheap. Never buy when the chart is up. And hopefully, to sell. And you will know if you follow my channel, because I'll let you know. Hopefully, the goal for everyone in crypto is to sell before your new token investments go to the top. And it'll go up, down, up, down, up, down. So you're going to want to catch it in time to always definitely repay yourself your initial investment so you at least lose nothing. And then from there, hopefully, you sell in tranches, 20, 10, 15, 20%, depending on how aggressive you want to be to, put that money aside to then buy more Bitcoin. That's how investors do it. Or, put it towards buying a house or a car or whatever you need. So that's how you do it. And then if we take a look at a few more technical indicators, we don't have too many more, like 2 more, I think. You would see that in regards to the crypto market specifically, as it relates to this parabolic phase of the bull run kicking in that everyone's waiting for, which is coming. We just have to be patient. You would see that Ethereum, in comparison to Bitcoin, right, in terms of interest and where people are putting their money, ETH versus Bitcoin, you would see that this cycle, this bull run, which is, well, that's not a bull run yet, but like this black line, it is at an all-time low, basically, a 5-year low, as shared here by Neko Z on X. So while it's not exciting for altcoins and altcoin season, because we do need the value to rotate into ETH, Ethereum is how once Ethereum's market cap goes up, that is usually the signal telling us that that value will start to roll into large caps, mid caps, small caps. Although we don't know if it's going to play out exactly that way this bull run. But anyway, we do need Ethereum. We need Bitcoin dominance to go down, and we need Ethereum's general market cap to be pumping, usually as a signal, before the parabolic phase of the bull run starts. Because Bitcoin is still in dominance, it's basically just a signal, like I would say, of the current crypto market and everyone that makes it being more mature. I know that wasn't the best English, but that's a signal of the fact that everyone that's currently in the crypto market, that they see more value. They see it more valuable to be in Bitcoin than to be in Ethereum, right? So that is what that says, just so you know where we're at. And if we just take a glimpse, just a snapshot of how Q1 ended, since we're just ending Q1, so this is our like Q1 in review, I guess, you would see that of all the sectors, mind you, the whole market was down. So none of this should be too shocking. Everything is down. That's what is going on here. I don't know if you can see, but they're all in the negative. Okay, mind you, the whole market was down, right? So of all the sectors in crypto, so we have gaming, AI, DeepIn, DeFi, meme coins, all of these different categories, you would see that the two that did not get as affected, okay, the two categories that investors did not roll out of so severely were real world assets, which I have a little bit to share with you on that, and privacy coins. Interesting, huh? And it's interesting to know that NFTs, staking services, and the AI sector were the most affected. Now, that's not too shocking with AI being down in crypto because the AI sector in the traditional market has been down, right? Basically, ever since like DeepSeek came out and was like, surprise, we created an open AI competitor at a fraction of the cost and in the fraction of the time it took. That shook the whole stock market and all of the like top five, what do they call them? The magnificent five stock companies, because they're all like AI based, right? Like Meta and Nvidia and like basically the whole AI sector suffered. So obviously the AI sector and crypto suffered. And of course, NFTs, many people are trying to just think NFTs are dead or gone. Of course, they have a real world use and they may make a comeback. I don't think so. I think that was a phase, but real utility, real application and use towards NFTs, and they'll be called something else, right? I think once they get used properly. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out, but none of this is too shocking, of course. What else? Okay, so this is what is so interesting, and this is what tells us that, right, it's so not over. Like, it's so not over. Like, well, the temporary market, indicators and indexes may be down, which I'll share with you here just quickly. You have giants, right? Like Mara Digital, like Tether buying more Bitcoin, like GameStop, Bolivia moving into it. France just bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin. You have people over here like Larry Fink, the CEO of arguably like the biggest, most like influential, expensive, very, very rich management, like asset management company, saying that every stock, every bond, every fund, every asset can and will be tokenized. So this is how we know it's not the end, but so the beginning of the crypto revolution. And then here I have this fantastic news to share with you that basically, you know how I love ONDO, right? If you've seen my past videos, you know I've been a big proponent of ONDO, which is a real world asset crypto project tokenization company, basically, but we call them projects. Anyway, they partnered, or Mastercard rather, partnered with them to build a Venmo-like sort of crypto solution. So we'll have to see what that looks like. And you can go read more about this on your own. See, you have this this post that says Mastercard is creating a way for consumers, merchants, and financial institutions to transact digital assets. And then I highlighted one bit here for you because I wanted to read it to you. So this is what they're saying about institutional adoption and regulation. They say regulatory uncertainty in crypto has challenged traditional financial institutions for years. However, recent regulatory shifts, thanks to President Trump, are now providing more clarity, creating favorable conditions for Mastercard's Venmo-like crypto services to potentially thrive in the market. The payments firm has invested heavily since 2015, filing for more than 250 blockchain patents and also supporting 43 blockchain startups through its accelerator program. At the time of writing, a partnership with ONDO Finance helps Mastercard make institutional assets available digitally on the blockchain. See, you heard it here. Go read more about it. It's amazing. Amazing. The institutional, global, like the adoption is so huge that how can you be swept away by this data? Like this ISM, Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, that's down. I guess job postings online are also down, and markets apparently pricing in a recession. Like, I just can't meditate. I can't take this information too seriously because we have such tremendous movement happening at the same time, such tremendous business going on, innovation going on. And you'll see right now what I have to share with you. Yeah. So uncertainty around tariffs, like this is already old data. I feel like I don't even want to go through this with you because just mark my words, like the market is about to do the most beautiful recovery. This information, I would say, we already know. We know the market has reacted negatively since right after the inauguration, President Trump's inauguration, because he came out swinging with trying to change, trade policy, regulation, all these things. So of course the market reacted negatively, but it's already turning around. And that's what I need to show you. See, Israel already eliminates tariffs on US to avoid Trump's reciprocal tariff. And we also have the EU planning a term sheet of concessions to secure Trump tariffs are removed, right? So of course they came out a few, as soon as Trump said he was going to impose a tariff on them, of course they came out with their strong statement, as did Canada, as did, of course countries basically are companies. But like, of course, these countries first come out with strong statements on like, we're also going to retaliate tariffs. But America, as Howard Lutnick put it in his interview on the Ellen podcast, America is the world's biggest consumer of all their goods. America is. So yes, America imports a lot from other countries, but America is still one of the it's like the richest, biggest economy in the world. And we buy their products. Not only that, but we have the largest defense system in the world. Like I would, go watch, documentaries on this to validate what I'm saying or go ask ChatGPT, but we have the largest like naval fleet in the world. And these submarines are parked underwater all over the world, So yes, there's some nukes and some bombs pointed at the US, but we have so many more pointing at everybody else. Largest army, largest military, largest this, everything's still in the dollar as much as people are wanting to break away. We are the world's consumer. So, and everyone needs, and they all want our military support. So I believe this is all going to fizzle out so fast. So I'm not worried and saving face. Like that's what's going on. People have to act tough, right? They can't just immediately roll over and be like, oh, no, please don't impose taxes on us. Of course, they're going to come out trying to act macho and like tough and like, we will also defend ourselves, But the US still is the biggest man in the room, so to speak. And a statement coming today, remember, from President Trump on these tariffs. So will the markets react to this news? Yes, of course. Will it be negative or positive? We don't know. But no matter what, we're making moves, and these are exciting days to be here and be part of the market. And so in the meantime, just buy some Bitcoin. Go check out ONDO. I'm not telling you to buy it, but go check it out. Go check out Chainlink. Like these are some of my favorites and biggest, safest blue chips. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in my video tomorrow. Take care.